Our theme today is all about spring growth, cycles, rebirth, refreshment. And so we're going to embody the idea of growth and being a seed or a plant or a tree. And so let's start as a seed in child's pose, or puppy, or crisscross applesauce leaning forward, whatever is right for your body shape. And this time, maybe try, supporting your forehead. We want that. Hi, Bubby. And then maybe bringing your hands together, palms of your hands together, and making a little steeple or a little sprout out of your hands above your head, if that feels good and fun. I'm going to let somebody in. And just imagine your little seed self surrounded by dirt. And then this little sprout coming out of the dirt, out of your hands, out of the back of your head, into the sky to photosynthesize. And the dirt's just holding and supporting you. And then your little sprout is going to grow. So come to standing on your knees and imagine the dirt coming up to your tops of your knees and shins and the tops of your feet, rooting into the ground, growing roots. And then the top half of your body, or the top three-quarters of your body, is able to move and grow and flow and kind of be lithe in the breeze, or just almost like a time lapse of a plant growing at arms, if that feels fun. And then bring one of your knees forward. I'm starting with left because then I'll face this way. So with grace, bring your left knee forward. Now imagine the dirt coming up to your hips and really rooting in through the bottom of your foot, your knee, and the top of your back foot. Super strong foundation, which allows the upper half of your body to just move and grow. Be playful. So hard having this period. Then go ahead and put both hands on the ground. Lift the back knee up and be in lunge. And imagine your roots growing laterally in all directions, really spreading. And feel the weight of the roots growing through your feet and maybe your hands or your fingertips, depending on what's touching. And almost trying to spread your feet away from each other. Hmm. And then come into puppy or down dog, whichever is right for you this morning to start you off. Rooting really, wide hands, spreading wide to be a super strong foundation, lots of surface area in your hands. Rooting into your toes if you're in down dog, or through your knees if you're in puppy. And imagining a sprout coming out of your tailbone towards the sun. Then come onto your hands and knees and again, imagine hands rooting, knees rooting, tops of your feet rooting, but the rest of your spine is above ground and growing. So move and flow in whatever way feels good for your spine. Maybe jump rope your spine or cat cow or cow puppy. And then crawl forward onto your belly. So the dirt's up to your waist and inhale and cobra your sprout up towards the sky and back into puppy. Maybe rooting through your forehead. Come to standing on your knees again, reaching for the sky as you photosynthesize. And then let's add a twist. So reaching tall in an inhale and exhale, twist your hips, waist, and ribs. Reach again, maybe twist a teeny bit more, release, and then go the other way. Inhale tall, exhale, hips, waist, ribs. Reach again, twist a teeny bit more, and come on down. And let's bring your other leg forward. I started with my left, so here's my right. Low lunge, but thinking about the dirt at your hips, rooting everything into the ground, super stable from waist down, and super flexible and flowy waist up. And then both hands on the ground again, back knee up, and rooting from your fingertips, your front foot, and your back toes, and reaching to spread those your feet apart, and imagining roots going all around, creating a super strong foundation. And then bring your feet together for plank, rooting into your hands, and then rock back into down dog. Your upside down V, rooting in with your toes and your hands. And imagine the sprout coming out of your tailbone up towards the sky. And then walk your feet, no, walk your hands back to your feet for forward fold. And root in with your feet and allow the upper from your ankles up to be growy and flowy. And then let's actually grow your spine vertebra by vertebra, unroll until you're back up to standing. And then add arms, reaching for your sky. Bring your hands down. Excellent. We're going to be doing a lot of standing poses today because grounding is uh, perfectly wonderful. I'm going to take a giant step forward with my left foot, dropping into a lunge, approaching 90 degrees in my front knee, then dropping my back foot into the ground and really focusing on that stability and that connection with the earth. Imagining the dirt coming up to my hips and then consciously twisting towards the front of my space, hips and shoulders. And instead of a super rigid warrior one, perhaps be a little flowy and fun. Super strong root system, which allows for super flexible reachiness in the upper body. And then open your back foot parallel to the short side of your mat. Maybe wiggle your toes a little bit wider so you can drop into a super strong warrior two. Socks are not your friend because you want to have that connection and that stability. And reaching your arms into the T, stretching your roots and your branches laterally into your space, and the top of your head reaching towards the sun. And then allow your upper body to be flowy and fun, plant like. And then let's formalize this sort of back and forth flow with reverse warrior gliding down the back leg as you side bend, adding your top arm. And a breath or two here. And then forearm to front thigh for extended side angle, still in our lunge and being super strong. Couple breaths here. And then let's go between those two in sort of a flow. Inhale towards the back of your space. Exhale towards the front. Inhale towards the right. Exhale towards the left. One more inhale towards the back. And exhale, bring your feet together. And to switch sides, I'm just going to turn around so I can still face you all. So, giant step forward now with my right foot. So, make sure you switch sides. Drop the back foot. Get your super strong foundation. Bend in your front knee, approaching 90 degrees. Hips towards the front of your space, shoulders towards the front of your space. Add your warrior one arms and then make it flowy and playful. Super strong foundation. This all's in dirt and rooting, whereas the upper part is growing and flowing. One more inhale here, and then open up the back foot to face towards the center of your space. Super strong foundation, reaching with your feet, staying in your front knee, reaching with your arms, adding a sway. And then formalizing this sway, reaching towards the back leg in reverse warrior, a side bend, not a back bend. making sure you're still bending in your front knee and breathing. And then extended side angle out your front leg, off of your front leg. Don't be collapsed into your shoulder, really reaching. And then let's make a flow. Inhale towards the back leg, exhale towards the front. One more inhale towards your back leg. And exhale, bring your feet together. Shake out your legs if that feels good. Okay. Moving on, take a giant step so that your body is facing towards the long side of your space, towards your camera. Your feet are pointed out, and you're going to drop into sumo squat or goddess pose with your legs approaching 90 degrees. And you want to try to keep your knee stacked over your ankle. And as you bend your knee, you want your foot to track in the same plane as your knee bend or your thighs. So those should be all lined up at whatever that looks like for you. And then imagine the dirt at your waist and down, creating this super stable foundation, which allows you to be flowy and fun with the top half of your body. And then put your hands on your thigh and let's do shoulder dips because they feel good. And then bring your torso to vertical, and the full pose is adding right angle arms and right angle legs for goddess pose. And from here, let's try a twist. So bring your waist and ribs and head to the right. Take another breath and then release. And let's go to the left, waist, ribs, head. Breathe, let it go. And then you're probably done with this. So let's bend and straighten your legs and feel that rooting in through your feet. Maybe a little sway in your upper body to go with your leg sway. And then bring both feet together, either in one corner of your mat. And we're going to add on with a little pattern all the way around your mat, a little cycle for our season. And we're going to start at the front side with chair pose. And chair is basically a squat in yoga, but you try to keep your shins relatively vertical and drop back into your chair, and then add your hands facing each other, your arms up towards your ears. And then we're going to add on and bring your torso relatively parallel to the ground. Sweep your arms back, either parallel to the ceiling or even higher. And chair again, and then stand up. So we're going to do a little pattern with combining these two positions, the squat chair and the sumo squat goddess. So when you're ready, inhale chair, exhale swing your arms back, inhale chair, exhale swing, inhale chair, exhale swing, inhale chair, exhale stand up. Inhale, make a giant X in your space and really reach. Exhale, drop into your goddess pose with 90-degree angles. Inhale, X. Exhale, goddess. Inhale, X. Exhale, sumo squat. Inhale, X. Exhale, feet together on the other side of your mat. Inhale, chair. Exhale, sweep. Inhale, chair. Exhale, sweep. Inhale, chair. Exhale, sweep. Inhale, chair. Exhale, stand up. Giant step away from your computer. Inhale, X. Exhale, sumo squat. Inhale, X. Reach. Exhale, goddess. Inhale, X. Exhale, ground. Inhale, X. Exhale, feet together where we started. One more round. Inhale, X, or inhale, squat. Exhale, sweep your arms back. Inhale, squat. Exhale, swing. Inhale, squat. Exhale, swing. Inhale, squat. Whoops. Exhale, stand up. Ooh. Maybe bring yourself into a strong standing position and allow your body to sway. Maybe hands on your body. Notice your heart rate. Notice your breathing. It's my third time through today. It's done a lot of squats. Hmm. Notice your feet and the weight exchange as you sway. And then bring your body to stillness again. And we're going to do our final standing pose, which is tree pose. So shift your weight into your left leg. Bring your right knee out to point to the right. And you have three options. Either leave your toes on the ground with your heel on your shin for kickstand, or take your whole right foot off the ground and lean it against your left shin, or bring your foot up to your left thigh. You don't want your foot on your knee because knees bend this way, hopefully not that way. So find your tree. If you add an engagement of your lower belly, it helps a ton with your stability. But let's be playful and try to be unstable and move around with your body and maybe make yourself fall out of your tree. And if you fall out, just come back in and try your tree again. Stability in the lower part. And then bring your body to stillness as much as you can. And reach your branches out towards the sun, the top of your head to the sun. One more breath here. And then go ahead and bring your feet together. Shake out your legs if you want. And let's switch sides. So repeat the balance, but shifting your weight into your right leg. Find your tree, engaging your lower belly to add stability. And then trying to be unstable. And then try to come to stillness. And reach your branches to the sky, top of your head. One more breath. Shake out your legs. And we're going to do a sun salutation to get to the ground. So from the back of your mat, inhale, arms up. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, come up halfway. Exhale, onto your belly. Inhale, cobra. Exhale, puppy. And either stay in puppy or go back into child's pose. If you want to use, no, not for you. If you want to use that little imagery of the little sprout above your head, please do so. Either way, try to have your head supported, whether you're in puppy or child's pose, or find that position of rest for you. Doggies are very grounding. And imagine your whole body surrounded by dirt. And can you let that earth support you? And then go ahead and come out of child's pose into constructive rest, just lying on your back with your knees bent and feet on the ground. Notice all the points of contact, your feet, your hips, your ribs, the back of your head. And we're going to come into right angle pose. You might try putting your hands underneath your hips, palms down. Bring your feet towards the sky. You're going to have plenty of bend in your feet. There's no problem at all. Imagine your dirt is now around your torso, and your feet and your legs are the ones that are the sprouts that are growing out of the ground. And maybe be playful with your legs. Oh, she found a treat. Yep, that's not for you. Not yet. Later. This is a mini inversion. Inversions are really good for your nervous system, but also just having a nice, slightly altered relationship with gravity. Go ahead and put your feet down again, and we're going to come into figure 4 or thread the needle. So take your right ankle and cross it over your left upper thigh. Flex the right foot and bring your left knee, your left foot off the ground. You can grab your left thigh, your left knee, your left shin, or just be in the air, and then add sway to your legs or circles or infinity symbols or whatever. So your torso is now grounding into the earth, and your legs are the ones that are supple and growing and flowing. And then take this whole apparatus and roll over onto your left side for a twist. So my left leg is on the ground, my right foot is on the ground, and I'm going to allow my right shoulder to be in the ground behind me. This is a very mild and gentle twist. If this doesn't have enough sensation for you, then bring your knees back up to vertical, cross your legs, and then flop over to one side again. And this is twisted root twist. So pick your twist and pick the intensity, either gentle or significantly more intense. And breathe. Leave it. Not for you. Mm-mm. Then go ahead and come out of your twist again, both feet on the ground. Shake out your hips if that feels good, and switch sides, crossing your left ankle over your upper right thigh, flexing the left foot and bringing the right knee, right foot off the ground, right knee towards your nose. Grabbing onto your right side if that feels good, or just holding it up in the air, but adding sway if that feels good. And then when you're ready, go into your twist on this second side, picking your twist, either figure four twist or twisted root. Notice all the points of contact between yourself and the ground. And notice how this side might be different from the other side. And breathe. And then come out of your twist. Feet on the ground, shake your hips out if that feels good. Maybe grab the tops of your knees and do a little lumbar massage if that feels good. And then maybe bring your knees tightly into your chest like a little seed again. Give yourself a hug and then go ahead and find your favorite Shavasana position. And I'm going to come to seated and switch cameras. So settle into your space. And today we're going to have a guided meditation for Shavasana. Imagine your body is the kernel of germination within a seed. So you've got a giant seed pod bubble spaceship around you. cocooning you, and you are the seed of life within. And this seed is going to grow into the biggest, strongest tree that you can imagine. Could be a real existing tree or a tree from your imagination or from fiction. Start to grow roots from every point of contact between your body and the ground. Your seed is germinating. And then allow a sprout to grow out of your center and reach for the sky. And let's go back to your roots and strengthen and thicken each root, reaching your roots to the center of the earth, reaching laterally to create stability and safety for your tree. And this extensive network of stability on the earth allows your tree trunk to grow and expand to encompass your entire body and beyond. And the tree grows higher and higher, bigger and stronger. Root to rise. The stability of your underground foundation allows for a majestic and beautiful tree to grow. Notice what kind of tree you are. Do you have needles or leaves or scales like a sequoia? What are your branches like? Remember, your super strong foundation allows you to have any branch structure that you want. And what kind of things live on your tree or in your tree? Maybe lichen, moss, fungus. What's in the ground around your roots? Maybe worms or insects. What insects might be using your tree as their home? Or spiders finding sanctuary? What other creatures might live in your tree? Birds, animals. Has a animal made a home in your tree, a den, a raccoon, a fox, a bear, a wolf. What sounds do you hear? Maybe the wind rustling your branches, maybe bird song, maybe the chitter or scurrying of the animals or insects. What smells do you notice? Maybe smells of earth or green. What does your tree smell like? Does your tree have cones or seed pods or fruit or flowers? Maybe a flower has a smell. What does your bark look and feel like? Notice where the sun is hitting your branches or leaves or their trunk and warms that part of your tree. Notice the parts of your tree in shadow or coolness. Feel the air as you pull carbon dioxide and sunlight into your leaves and photosynthesize to make more tree. Be a tree. I have a reading for you. It's titled Imagine a Tree by Thich Nhat Hanh. And Thich Nhat Hanh answers a question on what to do in the face of suffering. And a person writes to Thich Nhat Hanh saying, I suffer a lot. My suffering comes from two main things. One is that I have a chronic illness, which causes me a lot of physical pain. The other is that I'm an activist and I care very deeply for the world. Sometimes I feel a lot of despair. What practices would you recommend for those of us who are living with physical pain or are in despair about the suffering of the world? Thich Nhat Hanh responds, as activists, we want to do something to help the world to suffer less. But we know that when we are not peaceful, when we don't have enough compassion in us, we can't do much to help the world. We ourselves are at the center. We have to make peace and reduce the suffering in ourselves first, because we represent the world. Peace, love, and happiness must always begin here with ourselves. There is suffering, fear, and anger inside of us. And when we take care of it, we are taking care of the world. Imagine a tree standing in the yard. If that tree were to ask us what it should do, what the maximum is that a pine tree can do to help the world, our answer would be very clear. You should be a beautiful, healthy tree. You help the world by being your best. That is true for humans also. The basic thing we can do to help the world is to be healthy, solid, loving, and gentle to ourselves. Then when people look at us, they will gain confidence. They will say, if she can do that, I can do that too. So anything you do for yourself, you do for the world. Don't think that you and the world are two separate things. When you breathe in mindfully and gently, when you feel the wonder of being alive, remember that you're doing this for the world. Practicing with that kind of insight, you will succeed in helping the world. You don't even have to wait until tomorrow. You can do it right now, today. Be a tree. And see if you can acknowledge the perfection of your tree just as it is, just as you are. And just as you're sharing your imaginary tree, being nurturing to others, Can you turn that compassion, that love, that nurturing, that feeling of safety and sanctuary to yourself? Be the best tree you can be, which is beautiful, healthy, solid, strong, just as it is, just as you are right now. It's time to release your tree imagery. Maybe take a big breath in and let it go. Maybe wiggle fingers and toes. Maybe wrist circles and ankle circles. Maybe a full body stretch. And gently and kindly bring yourself back up to seated. And may the inner tree in me reflect the inner tree in you. Namaste. Thank you for practicing. Have a great weekend.